One other thing that Green mentions at the beginning of the book, he talks about a danger for society and civilization as a whole is this disdain for mastery. One of the quotes he has is, "Why bother working for years to attain mastery when we can have so much power with very little effort? Technology will solve everything." That's from the book. He says a lot of people will just cop out and say that instead of putting in the hard work and the effort and the persistence and the practice that it takes to master a given field. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Another quote, and I want to get your take on it, Chris, and then we'll get on board, because we have the steps to mastery, or the path to mastery, that we'll go over with you, the 5 steps from Robert Greene. But before we do, one other quote he says that really resonated with me. He says that what we lack most in the modern world is a sense of a larger purpose to our lives. In the past, it was organized religion that often supplied this, but most of us now live in a secularized world. We human animals are unique. We must build our own world. We do not simply react to events out of biological scripting, but without a sense of direction provided to us, we tend to flounder. We don't know how to fill up and structure our time. What are your thoughts on that quote?
I thought, again, another brilliant observation about how man is adrift, without the religious indoctrination of, these collective groups. And we'll soon see the new religion of the state completely fail, or the religion of the Fed completely fail. Humanity will be set adrift yet again. And I think it's vital for individuals to realize that there is not going to be another collectivist solution out there that's going to fill that void. When all of this fails, it'll be as a result of collectivism, and that the individual needs to realize that, the career that they had worked for so long, the retirement planning that they had saved for, all the toys that they had, has been worth nothing. It means nothing, and you know it. And yet we've been fooled to use all of our time and energy into following the check boxes of life that are laid out by very cunning men who, ironically, Ryan, they know this stuff. They're the ones that are having TED Talks and Google Talks and, hiring people like Robert Greene to come speak to their employees and stuff like that. The people running the show, they think on this level. They understand the game very well. They just happen to be psychopaths that believe in a scarcity mentality and realize and fear, I think, illogically, fear that their power will be diminished if the masses were their highest and best self. The reality is, if everybody was working on this level, what a wonderful world it would be. I mean, you can't tell me all the individuals working to their highest and best self, finding happiness and peace and joy, and new innovations and new problem-solving solutions, is not an attainable or a desirable result for man. But the people that run the show and run the game, that create Common Core math to make kids hate math, and the indoctrination of the media and all this stuff, they know that their power, their collective power, fades the more that individuals are independent from them and that they don't need it. There was a quote from Rockefeller saying that we don't need philosophers and poets and grand statesmen. The world is full of them. What we need is workers, and that's what they want. They wanted to have dumbed down, lowest common denominator drones to fill their factories. End result of this is they're no longer even going to need that anymore. So humanity is really going to be set adrift once again, because we're the criminal elite, the people that have the power and the means of controlling societies. They're making a mad push for robotics and artificial intelligence, and they're not even going to need the massive amount of humanity out there. And I think it's vital for individuals to start, if not now, ahead of this economic collapse, but certainly ahead of a AI robotic revolution where their labor is no longer needed. They're never going to have another way of bringing wealth back into their families, because labor is all that most people can give. And what Robert Greene is saying, that mastery not only is needed for personal attainment and satisfaction, But it really is a survival tool, because the next generation of jobs are really going to be designed around those that are creative problem solvers. And we don't develop that right now. We get indoctrinated masses and not creative, logical problem solvers who are self-motivated and doing things that to make things better.
The Silver Shield Exchange is a free weekly podcast, but the only way to hear it is through email. Sign up today at silvershieldexchange.com.